Humpty Dumpty had quite a fall. And I blame the parents. And I always have. Because I don't believe he fell. I don't believe he fell. I think it was a suicide. I think Humpty Jumpty. I really do, and I always have. And I always have. And I'll tell you why I blame the parents. Because if your last name is Dumpty, how dare you name your child Humpty? Seth Dumpty, Mark Dumpty, fine. Humpty Dumpty, that kid never had a chance. He's walking around high school with a long black trench coat, Nirvana t-shirt. Finally, he just snapped, went to the top of the wall, and took his own life. And the king sent all the king's horses, all the king's men. King was right on the money, man. The king, I don't know if he was a friend of the Dumptys, but he sent everybody, all the king's horses, all the king's men. And the king's men were probably very helpful. I don't know what the king's horses were going to do, seriously. I would think putting Dumpty back together again would be a pretty precise endeavor. That horses, and the king's men were probably, yeah, horses, thanks for coming, but you really need thumbs for this type of work. But thanks. I think my favorite movie right now of all time is Rocky. I love that movie. But I watch it differently as an adult. When I was a kid, my favorite scene was when he drank the raw eggs. I used to go crazy. Yeah, Rocky, that's how you're going to beat him. You're like Popeye. That's your spinach. And now I watch him drink the raw eggs, and I'm like, ooh, that's not good for you at all. That is, there is a ton of cholesterol in there, Rocky, you know, and not to mention the salmonella. You're probably better with an egg white omelet, to be honest with you. I love sports. I watch a lot of sports. I love football. And I love the cheerleaders, don't get me wrong. I think they're beautiful, they're talented, they're incredibly athletic, but I don't think they have to do any cheers anymore. Do the dances, do the gymnastics. The cheers, they're not helping anybody. These guys are mostly in their late 20s, early 30s. I've never seen them acknowledge the cheerleaders after the game, give them credit. Well, yeah, we were down pretty big in the fourth quarter. We were getting killed, but then the cheerleaders, God bless them, started chanting defense. And that's when it dawned on me. We should have played some defense. And the coach must have heard this because he huddled us right up. He said, fellas, them gals are right. I'm putting in the defense. Also, if there was another thing they said you should be aggressive. They said you should be B-E-A-G-G-R-E-S-S-I-V-E, aggressive. Why did they spell it? Was one player out there confused? B-E-A-G-G? Oh, be aggressive, okay. I thought you were saying to be egregious. I don't even know what that means. I thought you said be gregarious. I told my opponent I loved his hair. Oh my God. I thought you said be agrarian. I tried to convert the entire economy to farming despite the global dependence on high-tech and fossil fuels. I guess I'm a little red in the face. That is, wow. That you may be seated. Wow. That is really awesome. All right. Nice. I always wonder what the audience is thinking when I first come on stage. That was really nice. I always pretend I'm in the audience. I'm like, oh, he's really tall. How tall would you say he is? And is he Jewish or Italian? He looks Jewish, but God, he's so tall. His hair is perfect. I'm sorry, that's what I was thinking. What can I tell you? I don't have a great nose, but God smiled on my head, and I thank him for it. We all have them, some nights where you don't want to go out. Guys, we don't want to go out. We're sitting at home, it's tired, rainy, and then you walk by a mirror on the way to the bathroom, like, oh, I can't stay in tonight. It wouldn't be fair to keep this to myself. It would be selfish were I to stay indoors all night. I'm taking my head for a walk. I am a Jewish guy. We weren't raised incredibly religious. My mother taught us everything we knew about being Jewish, and a lot of the stuff turns out it wasn't even, she would say things were against our religion, and it turns out they were just bad for the carpet. because I scoured the Old Testament looking for something about thou shalt not finger paint, but there was nothing about that. And Moses wandered the desert for 40 years because he played wiffle ball in the living room. We got a bad holiday, though. We got Hanukkah, which was sort of our answer to Christmas. We were getting killed by Christmas in the gift-giving winter holiday department. So I think the guys down at Jewish headquarters, the boys in marketing were like, we have got to do something. We're getting killed by Christmas. So they went to the rabbis, the research and development people, and they said, gentlemen, is there any holiday in December that we could turn into a gift-giving holiday? And the rabbis, scratched their beards and they said, well, there's Hanukkah. And they were like, Hanukkah? How do you spell that? They're like, fucked if I know. And there's Hanukkah. A lot of times that's in December. Sometimes it's in June, but most of the times it's in December. And you could turn that into a gift-giving holiday. Well, what is Hanukkah? What is the basis of Hanukkah? They said, well, basically, some oil that was only supposed to last for 2 days lasted for 8 days. Oh, that's a holiday. 6, which is a lot of Jew. That's like 2 Jews. But I must admit that despite this rather imposing, one could argue majestic physique, I'm not a man's man. Unless the man was Michael from Michael's Arts and Crafts. I think he would like me. I love Michael's. I call it classy Joanne's. Joanne's is nice, but it's always in disarray, whereas Michael's is always in array. I grew up in the 1970s, which was not very accommodating to sensitive boys. I think I would have made a great millennial. They're much more accepting, and because to put it in millennial terms, I have a Gryffindor body, but a Hufflepuff soul. Thanks. I'm sweet. In the 70s, just kids were so mean to each other. I remember I played junior high basketball, and even the cheerleaders were antagonistic. I felt they would chant, "Be aggressive, B-E aggressive, Gary." And my theory on why millennials are nicer to each other than we were growing up is that millennials grew up much better hydrated than we did. Like, water just was not a consideration in the 1970s. Now, I'm not an old man comedian who's going to say, we didn't even need water. We needed it desperately. Walked around dizzy and listless all the time. But a lot of times I wouldn't get my first sip of water until Thursday. After gym, the teacher would march us down to the drinking fountain, and the entire experience was fraught. How so? How was it fraught? Well, water pressure in 1970s public schools was so weak, so flaccid. You had to make love to the drinking fountain to get a full quench. But if you got that close, it tempted the cretin behind you to smash your skull into the steel spout, which was considered a prank in 1978. Now it's properly classified as felony assault. But in the 70s, that was just shenanigans. The teacher wouldn't even interrupt her countdown, which, because of budget cuts, classroom sizes were enormous. So the teacher, this was her countdown: 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, goodbye. And I would get so outraged. I was 7 years old, but I was very precocious. I think you would have loved me. I would protest. I would say, Mrs. McNally. That's her real name. I will protect her no longer. She didn't protect me. I would say, Mrs. McNally, it's not Mississippi. It's Mississippi. You're costing me an entire syllable of hydration with your pidgin English. But you want to know something, Mrs. M? How appropriate, how apt that you use Mississippi to carry out this unjust drinking fountain policy. That is precocious. To have that firm a grasp of Jim Crow legal doctrine at 7 is like the epitome of precocity. It's so great to be back. Thank you so much for having me on. Good night, everybody.